The great Steve Buttleman. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Darren Rogers, Senior Director of Communications and Media Services here at Churchill Downs. For the better part of a decade, was proud to be joined at the hip with the great John Asher. And this is a great day. There's such a great energy in this area right now. A lot of love, and truly appreciate each and every one of you coming out. You know, the history of these two individuals, it's outstanding. Early 1900s, Churchill Downs was struggling. The Derby was not the Derby we know today. We had some tough times, but there was a very popular and successful businessman here in Louisville that was tapped on the shoulder to help bring this place back to life, and that was the great Colonel Matt Winn. His fingerprints are all over this place. The great histories. He was general manager in 1914. He served as president and general manager until his death at age 88 in 1949. He made the Derby what it is today. Brought in journalists, brought in celebrities. He was just an outstanding man, and there are many tributes to Colonel Matt Winn throughout this 195-acre facility. John Asher idolized Colonel Matt Winn. John grew up in Litchfield. He dreamed of one day coming to the Derby, watched Proud Clarion in 1967, and was able to get the opportunity to work into the field of journalism. He was an award-winning journalist. He was the face of horse racing and Kentucky racing before he even worked here at Churchill Downs when he started in 1997. He was an ideal man for the job, and unfortunately we had his timely passing. It's hard to believe it's already been 3 years ago. John worshiped Colonel Matt Winn, and this statue is perfect. I want to thank our sculptor and artist, Raymon Graf, is here somewhere. Just wanted to congratulate him on a great job you're about to see. Thank you, Raymond, wherever you are. We also have, thank you. We've got members of the Asher family on hand, Dee Asher and the crew. It's great to see you. We've got members of the Winn family, the Hermans and the Williamsons. Great traditions. So glad you all could make it and we could relive some of these great tales. I want to tell you just one thing before I introduce. By the way, Alex Woldrop, former president of Churchill Downs, was here. Kevin Flannery is here. We're going to bring him up in just a minute. Tom Meeker wanted to be here, but he was traveling, couldn't be here. But this just speaks the love. There are John Asher and Colonel Matt Winn. No one promoted. They lived and breathed the Kentucky Derby 24/7 like these two individuals. And to talk a little bit more about this statue, I'd like to invite up our retired and former Churchill Downs Racetrack president, Kevin Flannery.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's just, I can't tell you the emotions that are going through my mind right now. It is just a wonderful, beautiful day to see all of you here in retirement. I think this is my first time back between the gates, inside the gates, since I retired. So it's first and foremost, thank you all for everything you all have done for me through the years. You know, when we look back 3 years ago when John passed, and it was, it devastated all of us. But it made me personally really reflect. And Darren did a great job of sort of talking about the importance of these two folks to the history of this racetrack. When people come to the Derby and we talk to them and ask them what they want that history. They want that mystique. They want that feeling of togetherness that the Derby and Churchill Downs brings. And when you look back at the Kentucky Derby, Matt Winn was that guy. He was the guy that created that mystique, that need to be here for the greatest 2 minutes in sports. As I've said before, he was the great story maker. And John, I get choked up every time. John was that guy that understood the importance of what had been created here. He understood that we needed to make it better every single year. You know, John spoke all the time, but that's not why we love John. We love John because he listened. Somebody who tells great stories has been listening. He listened to the history of Matt Winn. He listened to each of us, our personal stories. So when we looked at this tribute and we said, we've got the story maker and the storyteller, let's put them together. For all time, John listening to Matt Winn and helping you tell the stories of Derby's future. Thank you so much to the Asher family, the Winn family, the Hermans, everyone. I appreciate y'all being here. I hope you love it. I'm so excited. And Raymond, wherever you are out there, one of the best things I've ever done was be a part of the process of these statues and see his creative process. I think you're going to be overjoyed. And I think we're going to create one of the must-have picture locations in the city of Louisville. Enjoy. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Kevin. Now I'd like to bring up our current Churchill Downs Racetrack president, Mike Anderson.
Thank you, Darren. Good morning, everyone. Kevin's a seasoned veteran, Darren's a seasoned veteran, so I had to bring some notes. Those guys didn't need any notes, but welcome to Churchill Downs, home of the Kentucky Derby, and as John Asher would say, only 233 days until Kentucky Derby 148. This is nearly John Asher weather. It's always 75 degrees and sunny at Churchill Downs. We had some sun out earlier, and it's around 75, so I'll go ahead and give credit for John for the weather as well. Thank you all for being here today. It's a privilege to represent Churchill Downs Racetrack and all of our team members here that make this place great. So thanks everyone for joining us. I'm honored and humbled to be part of the legacy of this great place. Honored to represent Churchill Downs. Thank you, Kevin Flannery, for your great leadership as my predecessor. Alex Waldrop, I haven't seen you yet, but I heard you're here somewhere. Alex, are you out there? I don't see him out there, but thanks, Alex, for being here. Like John Asher, I started at Churchill in the late 1990s. I actually started 2 months before John did in 1996. And we worked with the same 4 past presidents. So Tom Meeker, he wanted to be here, but he gives his apologies for not making. Alex Waldrop, obviously, was past president. Steve Sexton, past president. Rest in peace, Steve. He has passed away since. And of course, Kevin, for all his hard work over the last, we argue whether it's 11, 12, 13 years, but you've done a great job. Thank you, Kevin. So I am very aware that my role here is temporary, and I'm a steward just to merely carry this torch to the next leadership team for this great institution and brand that we all know and love. This iconic place is 147 years old, and our leadership team will take great care of it to pass it on to the next leadership team for the next 147 years. Matt Winn and John Asher would be proud. Churchill Downs today, they witnessed during their time here, we continue to make bold investments into this facility, into the Kentucky Derby. So behind those twin spires right now, we're working on a $10 million turf course renovation that adds a new turf course, the first since 1985 when Tom Meeker commissioned the very first turf course. This new turf course will be a breed that will last for decades to come and for future generations to come. Just behind me here, you can see some construction of our 100-year-old clubhouse building that we put in a $45 million construction project to upgrade seating and amenities for our customers. This project will be done before Derby 148. We've also announced a $90 million investment on the first turn for a new seating facility, which will begin soon and be done before Derby 149. And finally, we are in early design phase for what I think will be the most transformational capital project in decades for Churchill Downs will be the Paddock renovation. So we're just teasing you there. We don't have any plans for you, but it certainly will be a transformational project, scheduled to be done by Derby 150. And we're sure that this one will blow everyone away. So again, Matt Winn and John Asher would be very proud that we're continuing to make these bold investments. The success of Churchill Downs and certainly the Kentucky Derby is largely attributable to these two great pillars in the thoroughbred industry. We can all say that this is the house that Matt Winn and John Asher helped build, so thank you. In a day and age where statues and monuments are being torn down all over the country, we at Churchill Downs are very proud to honor these two great people and the legacy that they have left behind for all of us. Again, thank you, Kevin Flannery, for initiating this project. This was your vision to memorialize these two important people in our great history. Thank you, Raymon Graf. Again, we can't find Raymond. If you're around, I would appreciate if you'd raise your hand. Raymon Graf's back there. He's a fabulous sculptor. And you'll see why I'm thanking him in just a few short minutes, but your work is outstanding. Thank you, Raymond. To the Herman and Williamson family, we appreciate your attendance here today. We hope you appreciate what Churchill Downs does and has done in the past in honor of your great-grandfather and all the descendants of the Winn family. So we hope you continue to be proud of us as we continue to honor his legacy in this great place that we all know. Matt Winn helped nurture this iconic event. He helped nurture the traditions that are created today for all of American culture over 100 years ago. So his legacy is evident in the first Saturday of May every year. But thank you for being here. And Dee, and to your three beautiful daughters, thank you for sharing John Asher with the rest of us, the rest of the world. He was, and I'm sure everybody in this crowd can get up here and talk about their memories of John and how special he was. But there was no one, absolutely no one, more passionate about this place and about the Derby than John Asher. Everyone who heard his voice, everyone who had a conversation with him, and there were many conversations he had, everyone who John touched, he left an imprint in their heart with not only the legacy of Kentucky Derby, but what a gentle and special soul John was. So thank you very much. Two great men, passionate listeners, as Kevin mentioned, visionaries, leaders. We are thrilled as a team today to unveil statues of these two men, nearly a century divided, who, as you'll see, are enjoying a conversation under the twin spires. And having a conversation about what they passionately cared for day in and day out. It's Churchill Downs and the Kentucky Derby. So on behalf of Churchill Downs, the management team, and all the team members here, we are honored to present this to the families, to the fans, and to the future. So please, Dee, Richard, would you mind joining me for the unveiling?
Go for it. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's our ceremony, everyone. Thank you so much for attending. We hope you're able to stick around. Feel free to take pictures. I know you will. It's outstanding. And for the select family members that we have the luncheon for, we'll just wait around and take you to that spot momentarily. And then some folks for the media will be available for one-on-ones if anybody would like to speak with some folks. Thank you again so much for attending, And we hope to see you back here at 5 o'clock for the first of 12 live racing dates here at Churchill Downs. Thank you. Yes. Yeah.